What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review. Today I'm hanging out with Cy. He plays guitar and sings with Orange County punk rock and roll band. Is it the or just Jackknives?
It is the Jackknives.
It is the Jackknives.
Yeah,
I almost said that.
There's a few bands like that, like Bouncing Souls. Are they the Bouncing Souls or are they just Bouncing Souls? And Adolescents are just Adolescents, I found out. It's not the Adolescents.
Yes, that's a valid thing. I never thought about the Bouncing Souls one. But the Adolescents are just Adolescents.
Yeah. And I've seen Souls like t-shirts without the. So they go by both.
Okay, that's cool. I've got Hopeless Romantic tattooed on my knuckles. Nice. I love that band, dude. That's one of my all-time. But listening to your music, we're just gonna jump right off, dude. Like listening to your music, I can tell exactly the bands, or at least a good portion of the bands that you really like. And it's all stuff that me and my audience listen to all the time, specifically like just myself and some of my best friends, man. Like I can hear a little bit of Bouncing Souls for sure, Gaslight Anthem, a little bit of Lucero, but I think a lot of that is lost in the vocal styling being a little different because Lucero's got a super twangy vocals. But Ben Nichols, shout out Ben Nichols for being a pretty rad dude. But yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about your band. How'd you guys get started? You know, when and why?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everyone in the band has been playing in bands their whole lives, you know, but we didn't, you know, from different parts of the world or whatever. I'm from England. Our guitarist is Palestinian American. Our bass player is Japanese American, and then Drew, our drummer, is from Orange County. He's the SoCal guy in the band. So we're from all over, but we all grew up listening to punk rock, different parts of the world. And the band, I mean, yeah, like I said, we were all playing in bands our whole life. And then just kind of pre-COVID, 2018, 2019, I was writing songs. I've always wrote songs whether I was in bands or not, right? It's just what I was doing. So, and then it got to a point where I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to put these out. And it was just me at the time. I put them out under the Jackknives name. And then I was living in Hawaii at the time. And then I moved back to California 2022. And I was like, I want to hear these songs with a band. So I knew a guy, and then he came and jammed with me. And then he's like, I know a guy who can play drums. And then so on and so forth. One lineup change later. We have what we have now. We've been around as this band now about 5 years. And it's fun, dude. It's solid. And we're just fans of music, of all those bands you just listed, and we're just doing it because we're having a good time. We started out just meeting up on Thursdays, jamming out, and here we are. Still 5 years later, we got to go on some cool tours and do all that shit. So good time.
That's awesome. I mean, it's at this point, we're so late, and I don't know what this even means, but punk rock's been around long enough now to where there's a couple of different ways that people got into punk. If you're like 90s dude, it's usually skateboarding. Before that, it was from first gen stuff. You were just young, poor, and angry. Now it's like, man, COVID was happening. We were bored. We've always been into it. So it's like, honestly, it's like an older generation of people starting bands now. You got more like 30 somethings starting bands now than probably ever, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I think it's true. As long as you know, who cares? Just go out, have fun, pick up your guitar, get some buddies, and do it. And that's what we did. And of course, you put it on Instagram and YouTube or whatever. And I was always like, as long as it's fun, we'll just keep doing it. But then you get one person, one stranger who messages you or whatever. It's like, dude, I freaking love this song, and that obviously gives you a self-esteem boost. And then we're like, well, if one person likes it, someone else is probably gonna like it, you know, somewhere. So, and you just build it and have fun and take your opportunities, and that's where we are, dude. It's been really busy and really fun this last couple of years. So
that's a very positive way of looking at it. I've occasionally, especially when I go out to like shows or fests outside of my home state, people see me, recognize me, want to take a photo. It's like the most humbling thing.
It's the most awkward thing in the world for me, man.
I love it, but it's humbling. Like, it makes me feel appreciative. I like it because it makes me feel like I'm doing my job right. Yeah. Because I have massive like problems with my self-esteem and anxiety. So like when somebody's like, hey man, I love your channel, it's just like, dude, that's crazy to me, but thank you so much, man. Like,
I had the same thought. Sorry, like
no, you're
the
good.
exact same thought. The first time that happened to me, just someone was like, "Can I get a photo?" I just felt extremely awkward, extremely embarrassed for some reason. And it's something, not that we're a huge band and it happens all the time, but it does happen. You know, especially if I go to a certain punk rock show or whatever, there might be some, oh, I love your song, or whatever. And it even just without the photo part, just someone saying that, I didn't know what to say or how to. And then I learned. I think I sat down, had a conversation with a friend one day, and he's just like, "Dude, you're all just fans of music. They like your music. You know, it's just have a chat." And now I'm very comfortable with it. I don't even like calling people fans. They're just new friends, you know.
Dude,
like,
thank you.
Yeah.
The people that watch this channel, I'm like, no, it's just like the community. Like,
yeah.
It's not my like. And I have people that send me messages like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of yours." I'm like, "Bro, that is the weirdest. I mean, what do I do to make you a fan of mine?" Like, I just talk to people, and I guess at this point, I put out records. I got to do a lot of stuff, but like a fan is a wild word. So like, I choose to listen to that and go, you know what? I'm going to accept that and appreciate it. I don't want to ever make somebody think I don't appreciate that. So but it is a little strange to hear that word. First time I took a photo of somebody, it was definitely, now that you're saying it like that, it was definitely kind of awkward. And I don't know if embarrassing is the right word, but it's close. It's like I was feeling, why do you want to take a picture of me, man? Like I was like, this is so strange. But
it's cool though, man. Like once I learned kind of, they're feeling something in the music that we're putting out that I felt when I wrote it, or maybe it's something different that they're interpreting it their own way. Doesn't matter, dude. They're turning the music up while they're driving and feeling something because they like punk rock with loud guitars and melody.
Right.
That's same as me, when I listen to whoever, Social D or Gaslight Anthem or whatever. It's just one big community, like you said.
The interpretation of songs is an interesting subject because we could listen to the exact same album and get completely different things from it. And I used to think, no, man, they wrote this stuff for a specific reason. I don't know if that's true anymore. The longer I live, the more people I meet that play music and write it, I find out that they're like, no, it means that to me, maybe, but like to this dude here, it means whatever that dude wants it to mean. I mean, as long as it's not conflicting ideals with something I'm really, passionate about, I don't care. And I'm like, that I appreciate. That makes a lot of sense, man.
To me, that's a sign of a great or really well written song. If it can be, mean something authentic to the songwriter, but then be universally like accepted in whatever way, that is a great song. That's a great songwriter. And I learned that too. Like once the song's written, every song I write is authentic to me. It's how I was feeling, or a story I'm trying to tell, or feeling I'm trying to get out, whatever cathartic thing it is. But then I learned, okay, but once it's recorded and it's out there, it's not mine anymore. It's everyone else's, right? It's however they want to interpret it. And if they interpret it the exact same way because they had their heart broken on a Friday night or whatever, that's great. But if it I had that we just played a show in Philly back in just like a month or two back, and there's some friends of ours that come to a lot of our shows. They're all over the country. They were punk rock bowling. We've seen them in the crowd in New York, and then they were in Philly, and they told me, "Can you play this song?" So we played it, and that song to me it's really personal song to me, about like a father-son relationship and all that, without getting all into that. And to them, it means something different. But honestly, it was the most emotional moment I've ever had on a stage, without sounding all deep and weird. Like it was seeing them and what that song meant to them versus when I wrote it, it was a meaningful song for me. It was just like, songwriting is so powerful. Music is so freaking powerful, dude. And like I said, once those songs leave us and go onto Spotify or wherever you want to listen to or don't want to listen to it on these days, it's everyone else's, right? Like any art.
Yeah, I mean, yes, like you said, like any art, like you said, dude, it's interesting, man. I don't talk about this very often on the channel because I don't find opportunity or need to necessarily, but you said something that reminded me of this time that I had once in my life, if I had written a song that where I played it and had a crazy experience while playing it. So I have this long relationship when I'm in my 20s. It dissolves disastrously. I write this song about this girl, and the song is so emotional I can barely sing it without becoming a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I get nice and drunk, decide to add it to the playlist. We're playing it. And who walks in the door? I hadn't seen this person in probably 6 months or more. And she comes walking in, and all I can think, and I remember very clearly thinking like, oh, I'm really drunk. I'm so glad I have sunglasses on right now.
Yeah.
Because my eyes started welling up and I was like trying to finish it. And as soon as we got done with it, I was like, that's it, dudes. I'm done. I can't keep going. I got to get out of here. My drummer's like, I know why. He's like, dude, get out of here. You're a mess. But fortunately, it was coming up on the last song anyways. But it was it's probably the only song. Sorry.
No, it works both ways too, right? Like, I mean, the majority of our set, I think, are positive, like optimistic, romantic songs about the good times. And you can feel that too. That's the most of our set when we're playing. And, if I see someone singing along and it's about, whatever. But when it flips to the more like darker side, I guess, it does hit hard for sure. For me.
I've only got 2 songs I've ever written that I would consider that I have the courage to say, I think these are good songs. That was one of them. And then one was about me and a friend of mine that had a real problem with heroin and then like trying to get off of it and then having people just not care, not want to help. And I'm like, dude, we can't do this by ourselves. Like there is no way to do that. Like I had to move to a different city, lose all my contacts, and I still almost relapsed. Like yeah, man. So again, and the funny thing is that song, eventually somebody on the channel will hear it. People have been asking me to put this stuff out and I just feel weird about it. So I haven't, but somebody will definitely hear that at some point and it'll mean something different because the words are pretty vague. But if you knew me, you'd go, "Ooh, I know what he's talking about. That sucks." Like, but yeah, dude, when that girl walked in, man, it ruined like 3 days of my life because it became so like I never did the screamy vocals. Like my vocals were like, let's say in between how you sound and then like maybe like Lemmy. Right in the middle of that is how I was singing. So I was singing. You could hear what I was saying.
Yeah.
Walked in, she heard the song, she knew what it was, and then it became like somebody I hadn't spoken to in a long time. And then all of a sudden I'm getting texts and phone calls like, why would you do that? And why would you sing that in public? And why would dude, it was just like this big, oh dude, it was awful, man. I fully regretted that, but it was also one of the coolest. It's a memory that brings like emotion out of me almost. Like at this point, I'm a completely different person than I was back then. But like back then it was a cool story, man. It was a cool night. It would have made for a good book or a good short story.
I think that's the whole reason I write music is that whatever fucked me up as a youth and growing up, like it's still you just gotta get it out whichever way, But
it lingers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yes, it does. But hey, speaking of like songwriting, I'm pretty sure it was your song. Was it called on the song Ghost Radio? Do you shout out Horrible Crows in that song?
We did, yeah. The Horrible Crows and the Bouncing Souls.
Well, the Horrible Crows is the one that caught my attention because Bouncing Souls, a lot of people know them. I feel like the Horrible Crows is a much smaller band, but I was like, ooh, man, good taste.
Yeah. Talking about. Great. One album and done. Fantastic album. There's a funny story about that. Well, probably not funny, but the Bouncing Souls heard that song. Pete and Brian did, and I think I've told this on other podcasts, but they reached out and were like, "Oh, thanks for the shout out." And then I jokingly said to Pete, this was after the Ghost Radio album and that song, "Oh yeah, cool, man. Do you want to produce our next record?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So we went and recorded our last record with him in Asbury Park, and it was all because of that line in that song. So that was
dude, that's awesome. That is a good story.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to get in touch with Pete forever, man. Like he's just a busy dude, or Greg, either one of them. I'm a human. I mean, so the last things that my father ever purchased for me as a young man before he died was a stack of albums. And without my dad buying these, I probably wouldn't be the fan I am of like the Bouncing Souls, the Gadgets, and the Dropkick Murphys. All 3 of their early albums were in this stack of albums my dad bought me, plus Rancid, but I was already a fan of their music. But oddly enough, I helped put out a record by a band called Dylan Disaster and the Revelry, and they were also engineered by Pete.
I know that band. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that album is they're down the road from me, man. I'm outside of Houston. They're in Austin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that band's fantastic. That album's awesome.
Yeah, it's good songwriting.
Yeah, dude, watching them play live is fun. I need to catch you guys live. At PRB, I had a list of stuff I was already doing, so I didn't. You come to know people later and go, "Oh, I wish I'd have seen you at this thing I was at." In reality, I already had like kind of plans. But
yeah, that's a lot of choice in that festival, dude. It was a great lineup last year.
Yes, it was, and it was my first time going, so I was like, the whole time I was stressed out because I was trying to do so much. But
yeah. The hot water performance, we opened that show with hot water.
Such a good
band. Fuck, dude, probably the best band I've ever seen live. I think they were so
really good. That's a bold statement.
I know, right? That night, that experience, everything all encompassed was just the way they are too. The way they treat people is incredible. We've been like working with a bunch of different bands that we were fans of in the last couple of years. Some of them a lot nicer than others. And Hot Water and Souls and all that whole family are just the realest people in punk rock, dude. They're so good. Such great people.
I've spoken to those dudes enough to know they're very nice. Chuck Reagan is also a guy that guy's voice, I love his solo music. His voice is so big and powerful. And it's it feels like your dad. Like you could be like, and he ain't that much older than me. And I'd be like, hey, thanks for that. Like I needed that.
That times 100 in real life when he comes up and says hello to you and just okay, can you be my stepdad?
Right. Dude, I saw. I mean, dude, it is what it is, man. Like I admire these guys. I wouldn't even say like I'm fanatical about anybody. I just admire them because I can see that they've gone through similar things that I've gone through. I see how they've handled it, and I appreciate that. I don't think there's anything weird about it. I think there's stuff that like if you were to tell me you didn't like some of my favorite bands, I don't understand why I would be super bothered by that. Like it doesn't even matter. Like why do I care?
Yeah.
So I don't get to that degree, but I admire these people, man. That's I don't freak out, but I admire them. And one of the best shows that, you know what, you said hot water thing. You're probably right, because one of the best shows I ever saw was the first year they did that revival tour.
Oh, and
Chuck Reagan was on it. Laura Jane Grace, prior to being Laura Jane Grace, was on that show.
Yeah.
And I was sitting, and Ben Nichols played that one. And dude, it was ridiculous, man. But his set was, I don't know if life-changing is the right word, but it's not far off. I
know what you mean, man. Yeah.
Touched my soul.
They need to bring that tour back.
Yes. Revive the revival tour.
Yeah, everyone's still around. Yeah, revive the revival tour. Everyone's still around. So, I don't know. I think they all became, it's my opinion, they're all a lot bigger acts than they were now. So, I don't know how they could all get paid what they want to get paid. Maybe that's what
that's a valid concern.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but they should bring it back.
How do you feel about big ensemble tours like that, where it's 6-7 acts all in one night? Or is that your jam? Or you like, I know people that just simply don't like that. They want like 2-3 bands max.
Yeah, as like a fan in the crowd, I just being 40 years old now, I can't stand through too many bands. That's true. I could take like 3 or 4 maybe. But it depends who's on it, dude.
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing. You could bring me a bill of 10 bands that I would be hyped for.
Yeah, they're doing something in Europe, right? I forget what it's called. Hot Water's on it. Dave House is on it. Spanish Love Songs. Like, it's a all-star lineup of great bands, and it's kind of what we're talking about. But they got some newer up and comers on it too. I forget what's cool, but that's happening in like Germany and the UK and next month or the month after.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's not happening here yet. But Dave House from the Young Ones has that festival in Philly called Sing Us Home, which last year had like Kim, Frank Turner, Bouncing Souls.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't get
would.
to go to it, but I remember people talking about that one.
Yeah, that festival's been great for a couple years, and then, oh yeah, if the right band's run it, I'll stand there. I'll stand there all day
Dude,
with painful knees.
I'm the guy with the camera too, so like I go film everything.
Yeah,
I don't get to take many breaks. So a show, if it's going to be a show that I'm not really into, I may not even go because I
yeah,
know I'm going to be like standing the whole time, probably working the whole time. I'll get to
yeah,
say hi to my friends and such because I always go early and stay a little late. But like, it's when I get there, I clock in, dude. I'm like, I'm trying to get stuff accomplished because
yeah,
it's one
yeah.
of the beauties of having the, if I'm going to get the, what's it called? I don't know. If people are going to be nice enough to give me a press pass entry into the show, I want to do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So how'd you get started in punk? What was your journey
Hmm.
like when you were a youngster?
I grew up in southern England in a village, but in the 90s was infiltrated by skateboarding and a little surf culture in southern England too. So that surfing, skating, little, you know, I was pretty classic story, I think, for most people my age. I was wearing a Green Day hoodie at 12 years old, you know, like, and that the first punk rock show. So I live. It's this village is like 3 hours south of London. There's nothing around. There's no cities. There's nothing. It's just green fields and beaches and a real beautiful place. Really beautiful.
It sounds pretty.
Yeah, but not much going on for teenage kids, right? So we just little neighborhood, uh, little shits running around skating, doing throwing eggs and getting into trouble, whatever. Um, and then yeah, it must have been skate videos and the like I said, pretty classic story, skate videos, surf videos. I remember having my oldest sister had quite a big influence on me musically too. I think
Nice.
I used to steal her cassettes and CDs too. So, but like, yeah, that was it. I remember Green Day was probably the first punk band I heard, and then I went to see them, and the Souls were opening for them. In
Nice.
Yeah, so that was, and then I remember seeing the Souls, like not knowing who they were, come out on stage, and just being like, "Holy shit, this is better."
Dude,
And yeah, just going down the rabbit hole from there. It was different back then, right? You really had to like work to find bands.
that's the honestly though, man, we also appreciated them more. So like I'll say this with knowing full well that I might hear, receive the wrath of the comment section, but as a youngster, I didn't ever get into bands like Lagwagon. I didn't like what's that other one? Strung Out wasn't my jam.
Yeah,
So like the fat sound really wasn't for me. I gravitated towards the epitaph music. But what I like about that is that I didn't just stream a few of their songs and decide I didn't like. I bought records from all of those bands to figure out who I did and didn't like. I
yeah,
bought stuff from Lagwagon, Strung
yeah,
Out, Propaganda, bands that I don't really. At this point, I like more of their music than I used to. Right?
yeah, yeah,
As I grow, I tend to like things. My tastes have expanded quite a bit. My palette is much more broad than it was at 17. But
yeah, definitely.
you know, my point being is that you did have to work, and so you might have to go through a few bands. And if I get through those bands, and I mean those are better music, even the ones I didn't really jam, was
Yeah,
better than stuff on the radio. So it wasn't like I was throwing anything away.
yeah, yeah,
But then I would find the Rancid and the Dropkick Murphys or the Bouncing Souls, and I would find these bands through doing all of that,
yeah,
and I would just wear out CDs and tapes, man. I would listen to them so much, dude.
yeah. Same,
And
dude. It was
you
everything,
know,
and it just, it's a cliche to say it these days, but like having the cassette or the CD and unfolding the inlay and just reading every word on it about where it was recorded, what label it was on, and the thank you section. Oh, there's some band names here. I
thank
should
you
look those
section is
up.
legendary.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, all of it. So it was cool. And then illegal downloading came in, and you might get one song from a band, here and there and all that. So it was cool. Like now the kids have their own way of discovering music, and it's probably cool to them as well. But it's very different.
Right. Yeah,
Very
that's the thing is it's cool, but it's different, man. We're just
yeah.
different generations. I'm trying to think what the last band that I discovered before streaming.
Huh.
Oh, I've never ever thought of this actually. It's probably something like a hardcore band. It had to be. because about that time I was like listening to a lot of hardcore. So probably like Terror or something like that would be like the last band that I discovered
That's a good
before
one.
streaming was a
Yeah,
thing.
I wouldn't even. God damn, I don't even know, man.
Right? It's a weird thought. My first thought was Flogging Molly because I remember I found them kind of late in life, but then I'm like, no, because it was early in their career, so I must have been a little younger than I feel like I was.
Yeah,
But
I remember the last CD I ever purchased was I'd already moved to the States. It was in a Best Buy, and it was the Gaslight Anthem. Must have been American Slang. That was the last CD I ever bought. I didn't know it that day.
Great purchase.
Yeah, great record. Yeah, I remember like driving away playing the CD, but then everything just is different. You know what? I still do discover new music through streaming. If I put on the artist radio or like the suggested songs,
Sure.
and I've done it for my band's like radio. I just put, I wonder what bands they're suggesting, and I know it's curated to the listener or whatever now, but still there'll be some up and comers or younger bands in there where you're like, this is really freaking good. So I'm trying to think of one now, but so but I read that TikTok is the #1 music discovery
Probably
for kids now.
Probably. Dude, I work really hard at helping people discover music because not only do I have my channel, which, without the music, my channel goes away, but like I own a record store and a label, man. Like all I care about is pushing new music out there.
Yeah,
and so, I started this little zine, just writing down stuff that we listen to on the channel so people can like, here,
that's
just go
awesome.
read this, dude, and go listen to all these songs and you'll find something you like. I promise. If you like punk, there's something you'll like in here.
That's righteous work, man. And then opening bands is still a good way to not just saying that because we're an opening band, but it's a great way to discover music.
It's a valid point, though.
Yeah. I went to see Menzinger's couple of months back, and they had a band called Queen of Jeans opening. They're not a punk band; they're kind of an indie band with a little kick to them, and they were great. Yeah, Queen of Jeans, very different. It's a very melodic. It's really good. I think, but they opened for Menzinger's, and I always make a point to buy the vinyl and the merch as well.
Absolutely.
Well, my wife does. She buys vinyl and merch from everybody. But yeah, it was they were my latest discovery, and they're really, really freaking good.
Dude, if you feel comfortable shooting me an address, I'll send you a couple things that I put out that based on what we've talked about, I think you might dig some of it. Some of you may not care about, but I'll send you some stuff, man.
Yeah, that's rad.
It's funny, Menzinger's, I was just, because I make shorts occasionally, like short videos. I don't like that format much, but I know I need to do that if I'm going to continue to grow my audience. And so I'm making a video. It's literally all my list of things to do. It's like, if you like the Menzingers, check out Iron Chic, because I think that band, in my opinion, is like a better version of Menzingers. Now, I like Menzingers just fine.
Yeah.
I like a little bit faster music, like gravelly vocal type typically.
Yeah.
But I like all of that stuff, man. If you're rock and roll at all, and I can tell that you listen to like, if bare minimum Springsteen and some like maybe Elvis or something, Rolling Stones, I'm probably gonna like your music, right? So like it's gotta have guitars, preferably some bluesy chords, and I'm pretty in. Other than that, faster the better for me. But like, that's a good way to do it too. Is just like go find YouTubers, not necessarily my channel, but just anybody that's like into music, and if you can tell that that's a guy that parallels your tastes, man, just watch their stuff, dude. Because the thing that benefits the viewer is that YouTube sees that, and it ain't even going to help just the channel. It's going to help you, man, because you're going to get recommended stuff that's like that guy's channel. So, dude, our life is strange, bro. It's so weird.
Yeah, everything's changed. Everything's changed. Being in a band is completely different now.
Yes.
So the last band, I was in a band in 2008, which was the last kind of serious band I was in before the Jackknives back in the UK. And I came back to and started the Jackknives, and it's just so different, the way that like the business side of it, the marketing, the social media, it's just everything's changed. But you got to embrace it. There's so many people I hear see interviews like, oh, we're not gonna do that or this shit. You don't have to be a cheesy idiot on TikTok, but you have to still play the game, and you can do it authentically, right? We're a big Instagram band. We are constantly posting on Instagram because why wouldn't you? It's the
right.
#1 way to get your music heard. Back 15 years ago, you would have, if you wanted to be a bigger band, you would have done anything to have that kind of reach. Back then, it's right there now for you if you want it.
There's certain bands out there that have this idea that if they keep, like, they'll post stuff on the internet, like they'll post like flyers, we got a show coming up or blah blah blah, but you'll never hear from the band, and that drives me nuts, man.
Yeah,
that'll drive me away from a band. Like, there's a couple of bands that didn't want to do interviews with me, and I respect that. I totally don't. It doesn't bother me at all if somebody doesn't want to do it. But when I find out the reason, if the reason is because we want to remain mysterious, I find that so pretentious. It bothers me a lot. And
it's interesting.
The musicians I'm speaking about, I'd never put their name out there, but like, I still enjoy the music and the bands and the people. I still enjoy the people. That's not it. The issue is that I'm like, man, everybody would. Like, I know you guys are cool, man. Everybody would love you. And I think some of it's self-conscious thought.
I think it is too. We started that way, I think, a little bit, not trying to be mysterious, just more thinking like, why would they want to hear me freaking talk about whatever, But it's like we were talking about earlier. You meet these people at shows and they become friends. So essentially, you're just putting an update out for your friends. That's the way I look at it now. Like, they want to see what we're up to. We want to show them what we're up to, And so we do a lot more of it now. And again, not like, and I love that stuff too from the bands that I like. I want to see it. I want to see how you recorded the record, where you recorded the record, all that shit, So,
if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, what's that?
I said, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
40.
So you're just a couple years younger than I am. So you'll remember that back in the 90s, like good grief, dude. Specifically around like 96, 97, when stuff was like really popping off, and there was a lot of bands that we liked, right? What the issue is that there wasn't really any internet, and the magazines sucked except for a couple of them.
Yeah.
And even the ones that didn't suck, they only came out once a month or so.
Yeah.
And so we would be dying to have like just on a little blurb, dude, like new Rancid album review in this magazine. I'm buying the whole magazine for that one little review of that one album.
Great
so
point.
Like, why wouldn't people use Instagram? All it is a free magazine for you to do like, that's what this is. The Punk Rock Review is a magazine, dude. You could come here and you can get playlists, you can get interviews and podcasts, you can get like just like topical stuff, video essays, like, and I have it all organized. Like, it's a magazine, and that it's because I'm old, but like, like, but like that's what I look at social media is. It's a magazine. Utilize it.
It's a tool. It's a magazine. It's just it's freaking great. And like I said, we just want to connect with everyone. There's no better way to do it. We have our mailing list, which we started super early, like, so that's even better for us. We have 1,000 people on there that we can send stuff direct to. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but again, we started it early, so we're stoked that we did that. And we do a lot for that, because those are the folks who buy the merch, buy the vinyl. So we always make sure we put our vinyls out before digital and give them the chance to get it first. We've sent them funny little newspaper things we've made about
that's awesome.
All this shit, it's just, so we use both. That's the old school method, right? Sending them something to read or little postcards now and again, just to say what we're up to and all that. Because again, it's a community, and we feel super humble and lucky to have one person that's interested, let alone however many people that dig the music and all that. So it's cool, man. It's all about connection and community, especially in this day and age. And if it's got to be online, it's got to be online. But nothing beats a live show, as well.
That's awesome. And yes, you are correct. You know what I was thinking recently? Tell me if this is a stupid idea. I haven't told anybody about this yet because I kept thinking it was dumb, but maybe it's not. Like, I saw somebody did, and I don't know if it's physical or just digital, but he did like hardcore trading cards. It was like dudes in hardcore bands. And I thought, man, somebody should do like a punk rock version of that. And then I thought, I should do that, but I should do it with guests that have been on the channel.
That's cool.
And then anybody that comes on the channel, I make this little thing. And then if I just, it might cost a few bucks to print them up, but like the people that are like in my Patreon or whatever, I can just send them to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, here you go. And like, you buy a CD or something, I'll throw it in a package.
those trading cards too.
So are they real? Are they real cards?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I saw some of those. That's cool, man. I love stuff like that. And people for our shows, they'll take the set list or whatever. For every band,
right?
Set list things like that. It's just a connection to a moment or to a song or whatever. It's important, and it's cool.
Well, if you're smart about it, you can find something like if you're smart, you can go, okay, I want to do this, but what's the most price effective way to do it? Because I'm going to give this stuff away. I'm not going to charge anybody for it, right?
Yeah.
So it just occurred to me that I make pressing cards for my records. Whenever I have a record come out, it comes with like a hand numbered card.
Yeah.
The cheapest way to print anything that I've ever found has been on a business card. So
great.
if I can make a trading card the size of this, I can make them pretty affordably, man. I could just give those things away.
Yeah.
Dude, this might come in, dude. If I get these made, you're getting a whole stack of them.
Yeah, and it's an investment, right, as well, and things like that.
Well, yeah, because what's cooler than people seeing like, hey, man, this guy not only does he do this stuff, and he wants me to come and click on his channel and talk in his comments and be, possibly join a page, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, he's going through the trouble of doing this and sending it to me. That's nice, and it just makes people know that you're reciprocating their effort.
Yeah, we're grateful, and we just put a live record out too. That
nice.
Is going to be just vinyl, just for the street team. Well, it goes on sale in the store as well, but to them first, It's just
so it won't be a digital item.
No, we're gonna release one of the songs digitally, but the rest of it's just on vinyl.
As much as it simultaneously goes, but I'm still like, I like that, man. I respect that. I think there's something to be said for like an exclusive piece of merchandise or art that's available to your bigger fans.
When you nerd out on bands like I do, I think all that stuff's cool, man. All of it, that one record that has just disappeared or whatever from back in the day, and you can't get it anymore and stuff like that. I like that stuff, So, and we're not purposely trying to make it disappear. We're just, if you want it, it's there, but you gotta have a record player for it, which is cool. I'll send you one, dude. I'll send you one of those too.
Oh, bro, I'll happily buy one, man.
No, you're good. Thanks for having me on and everything. It's funny.
Absolutely.
When I forget the name, but the lady who said, "Oh, I think you should go on this show."
Oh, my friend Kim. Shout out Kim. Kim, I'm not giving you grief this time. I usually mess with her on these videos. Go, no, Kim's the homie, man. Love Kim.
Yeah, I saw her at the Orange County show, and I'd already started watching your show. What we were just talking about had dropped into my algorithm on YouTube anyway. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's working. It's working, dude.
Dude, that's so cool, man. And check this out. This is what we were talking about earlier with like the community and such. Dude, like I would say I've got my core group of like my local scene of people that are people I've known for probably 2/3 of my life or more.
Yeah.
The one thing I love about Houston is that most people from here are still here. So like all of our same guys, most of us are still here. So like all my friends have been friends of mine for ages. But like on my day-to-day basis, like who do I talk to? It's the people from my channel. I've got like a Discord that's Patreon exclusive, and those people I know really care, because it's not like I'm trying to get some people to give me $100. That's not what it is. It's like a supplemental thing for the channel's success. But like and like it's really cool that I've developed genuine friendships with like 10 or 12 people, bro. Like it's crazy. These are people that I talk to on the phone. Like I call them, like, "What's up, dude?" Like Kim, I call Kim, bro. I met her in person at Punk Rock Bowling. We got to hang out, and it was like we just became friends, man. Like,
that's the same. Awesome. Same with the band, dude. Just these people have become friends of ours. Like it's great. The one I was talking about, the family I was talking about earlier with the emotional song. Like the first time we saw them was in New York City when we played there a couple years ago, and they had driven from DC. And I was just like, my mind was blown. Yeah, I was like, whoa, to see us? Okay. And again, awesome. You have to get used to that, right? You have to get used to that. And I also, not to go on a tangent, so like I said earlier, I write the songs for cathartic, therapeutic reasons. And for me, my drummer, Drew, and the rest of the band are real musicians. They love playing live music. So for me, I was always, now I have to go play it live. So I had to learn to enjoy playing live in a way, because I was quite self-conscious about it. And then seeing people like them, Nancy and her sons, come to the show, and sing our words back, and they've driven 4 hours to get there. I was like, damn, I need to give it everything at every show from now on for the, and you know, it's all a learning curve for me. So I can't remember what I initially was talking about, but just how they become like friends. You know, they were at Punk Rock Bowling, and then they were at Philly a couple months back, and we're friends on Instagram, Facebook now, and it's just, and that story could be told 20 times over with different people that
right.
you know, have become friends through this community, through this music, and I love it.
Well, that's awesome. The thing, is that it is a community, but we've all got common interests. And so it's easy to talk to people typically. Like, you're like, oh, hey, you know, you go to a grocery store, do you see somebody in like a Bad Religion shirt? You're like, oh, that guy probably likes stuff I like.
Yeah.
Especially when you start listening to bands like Horrible Crows or the Jackknives or something like that. That's a deeper cut. You're like, oh, that guy definitely likes stuff that I like. You know? And so I love that, man. And everybody that's watching this, that's in the Discord, man, I wasn't mentioning names because I didn't want to forget anybody. I just came up and organically in conversation. I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but like, if I said I started listing names, I care about a lot of people. It would be a long list, so I'm not going to.
That. But and I'm the worst with names as well. So.
Oh, dude, I just don't want to forget somebody by accident. It would make me feel terrible. But when you were talking about the live show with that group of people, one thing I was going to ask you later, but it actually makes more sense to ask now, is have you ever had a situation when you're playing live where it just goes left and it's terrible and it makes you like almost want to quit doing music? Have you ever had a situation like that? And if you did you learn anything from it?
I think not necessarily with this band and the Jackknives. We're quite, and I think it's just about being older now. Being in a band in 40, there's a lot of difficulty at 40. There's a lot of difficulties to it, but it's also a lot better because, like, touring especially, we're all like grown adults in the band, and we can cope. Like Punk Rock Bowling, we had a huge like sound issue in the middle of a song where it's something just sounded like it fucking exploded. We was getting this feedback for like the whole song, like it was the most awful loud sound you ever heard, and it was just going. And I remember just playing, and I think if I was 21 in a band, that would have freaked me out, and I would have been like, oh, you know, self-conscious and like this or whatever. But we just kept playing. I just looked, smiled at my guitarist. We just kept playing. It stopped. I haven't really had any major issues being drunk on stage, right? So two of the guys in our band are sober, and completely dedicated to that lifestyle. And then me and Ferris, the guitarist, are not. We're not out of control kids that get like ridiculously blasted, but now and again we'll have a drink. And so I remember a record release show a couple years back in Orange County where I got too drunk. I remember walking on the stage being like, and just not enjoying the feeling, especially after realizing I'd probably put half a show on than what I could have that night for everyone.
Right.
So again, just being older, and I think having more life experience from that moment, I'm never doing that again. Like, and taking it seriously. I think we're a very professional band behind the scenes, and we've learned a lot over the last few years. So it's when we go on stage, we want to give it everything, and it's all because of learning from our new friends and fans.
Right.
It fucking means something to somebody. So for us to go on and half-ass it is disrespectful to them and, you know, to the music. So,
well, that's something that I learned as a young man, is that different kinds of punk and different kinds of music in different stages of life, they are therapeutic for different things. When you're 20 years old, you can get up and get blasted and be whatever because you're just playing really fast, sloppy punk anyways. And the kids that are into that, they're there to circle pit and just get some aggression out. But when you're there for a band that's still a punk band, but it's like, no, they play a little more professional. Their recordings are a little bit better. Like, they're at a different stage in their career. You know, listen to a Bouncing Soul song from like the mid 90s and then a Bouncing Soul song from like 2015, right? 20 years apart, and you're going to get a completely different band. And so like, so when you get on stage at that point in your life, you do want to do it a little different. Because when I lit up when you said the drinking thing, it's because the only thing I had to say to that is that I wish I hadn't drank so much before I played when I was younger. That's the only thing that I regret at all, is that I would get
you make a good
drunk.
point. I think some bands, when you're, especially when you're younger, you might want to go to see because of that element, because they're out of control, reckless, whatever. That's fine. But
right.
to see me and my friends, bunch of 4-year-olds, like drunk on stage would not be a pretty sight, right?
It would almost look pathetic, kind of. You're like, look at these guys. Unless it's like a special occasion,
I agree, yeah. And like I said, me and Ferris, we still have a drink and now and again. We did that 10-12 date run with the Souls and H2O a couple of months back.
Crazy, dude.
And yeah, it was rad, but that was again a learning curve for us. That was our first big tour. Was like, this is just a professional thing, dude. Like every day, you got to be there, you got to be on point, and and we knew that going into it, and we did it, and so that, there wasn't even that much time to party if we wanted to. I mean,
right. It is a lot of work. It's a lot
of
work.
It's a lot of work. But even now, right now is our downtime, you could say. If you're from the outside looking in, the Jackknives right now, the album's out, we did the tour, the singles all came out, blah blah blah. So now it's kind of quiet. There's not much going on. We have the live record and some other things come in, but behind the scenes, it's as busy as ever. It's one of the busiest periods because we're now planning 2026.
Nice.
We're going to go record a record. What tours do we want to jump on? Who do we want to play with? Can we do this festival? Can we do that festival? And we're completely independent DIY. We own the record label that we're assigned to. But when I say independent, it's not just us. We have a big team of amazing people.
That's cool.
Yeah, not forget to thank. No, I'd say a big team. It's all family, but
yeah, but that's a big team, man. You said it right the first time. That's a big team, dude. They're supporting you, man.
Like like we all have families. Ferris our guitarist has a newborn right before we went on tour. He has,
wow.
His wife is integral. His wife Bolkis is like super supportive, and we because of that, balancing work, balancing family, balancing tour, balancing life. We plan way far ahead. Okay, boys, next April, you got to give all your time for this 2 weeks to the Jackknives, and then the family knows way in advance, and everyone knows we'll be gone, we'll be on the road, but then we'll come back and we're all present at home while we, and that's really important. That's another thing about being older in a band. You learn to do that.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out work-life balance, dude. I'm not good at it.
It's hard, man.
Well, I'm 12 years sober, and I had a really bad problem, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's the best thing I've ever done. Okay, besides get married, have kids, but like I wouldn't have done this without that. So like, or I wouldn't. She certainly wouldn't have married me if I wasn't cleaning myself up. But like, yeah, what was I saying? I just lost it.
Is it about work-life balance?
Yeah. So I put myself into my work because that's just the way my brain works. It's like, no, if you're not working, you're slacking off, man. You're just, in reality, it's like, no, dude, you got a 4-year-old. Well, he's basically 5, but I have a 11-year-old now and a 12-year-old, and I'm married. I've got a dog. I need to go pay attention to all of them. They all love me. Yeah. And it is the first couple of probably year and a half of doing this. I wasn't good at it. I just like, now I'm like, I told my son I wouldn't leave out of town for a trip for work more than once every 6 to 8 weeks. And even then it won't be more than a couple of days. Cause they're still pretty young. I don't want to miss things.
Yeah. Like, it's hard, man. Like it really is. And, I like my wife too. She works with us. She basically manages us. She's
nice.
A lot smarter than me, so she figures that.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, she comes to most of the shows and helps with the merch and this and that. So, but at the same time, I do recognize like, damn, dude, I don't know if we can go on a vacation because we have to go blah 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 with the band, and she's gonna come too, but that's not the same, So
right.
It's all about. And I remember. Not to keep dropping the Souls, but Brian from the Souls had that conversation with me. Like, the times have changed, man. You don't need to go and tour 300 days a year anymore because of social media.
That is one of the plus sides.
Yeah, you can split it and then just dedicate 2 weeks, 3 weeks a month to touring your major markets and blah blah blah, and that's what we try to do. So right now we're off. It's our off time, although we are a lot behind the scenes, and then Probably next spring we'll ramp it up and head on out again.
That's awesome, dude. I got a bunch of stuff coming in the spring too. I'm trying to get situated. Like my plans right now are like, okay, get through Christmas and then ramp it up the work and start getting. I have probably 2 or 3 albums I want to drop in the spring, and I mean,
nice.
I'm basically just a one-man show. I do all the channel, the zine, the shop, the label. It's all. I don't have anybody else that does it. My wife helps me as much as she can, but you know, she's holding it down, doing home things for me and helping with the kids while I do this stuff. So like while working. So I don't expect her to do more. It's actually like life goals for us, man. I'd love to have her go to a part-time job, keep her insurance, and then like work for me part-time. And be able to actually give her some money for it for her time. Like be able to contribute to her, you know, having some extra cash or whatever. But you know, who knows? You know, who knows?
It's a passion project for sure, but it you know, for musicians, man, it's hard. It's very, very hard, like to make a living. We are almost probably just about self-sustainable as a band, and that's
a big step.
Oh man, I mean, but that's just the band entity. We're not.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's a big first step. Like to get the band and not have to cost you money all the time is a huge relief.
Yeah,
you know,
we're not making money from it per se, but we're making enough that we don't have to. Our tours are paid for.
Nice.
And that kind of stuff, right? So
that's a good dude. It's
massive. It's huge.
So just the first major step. I mean, I'm almost to that. Not really. I'm heading that direction with my label. Is like it's doing well enough. I got enough good people that are like, you know, good artists that I'm working with, and I don't own any of the music or anything, so it's not like that. But like, you know, it's getting to where I can put out a record. It sells enough to put out the next one. That one puts it, you know, and it's just, you know, if I do enough work, it's not always 100% because I always want to do extra and I always come out of pocket a little something. But like, man, I love what I do, man. Passion project is the best way to describe most of the stuff.
That's the main thing, right?
For all of us. Well, without passion, where would we be, right? Nowhere.
And that's what we always say. As long as it's fun, then we're cool, and it's not gonna break us financially, then we're good to go. You know,
right?
But like, it's hard. I don't think I couldn't foresee a day where I could quit my job for the Jackknives right now, because like I said, we have a decent sized number of people helping us. We have 4 guys in the band. We'd all have to make a bunch of money to do this. So, and that's a shame that the not to get into that whole side of things, but you know, with streaming percentages and everything, it's just not going to happen.
Well, you know, in regards to that, like I have a very unique perspective with that stuff. Streaming is just the radio. You never got paid off the radio. It was never off the radio, and you never even really got paid from a label. Like a label's never paid. They loaned people money as like a freaking loan shark, dude. It was awful. Like I did a lot of research before I started deciding to do what I'm doing, and I have a very specific way I do it. I am literally just help. That is it, dude. I will help you as much as I can, and that is it. But like, you know, I think artists were always in that position. I think there are very few people ever really made a living doing it, and very few people ever will. And most of those people are people we don't even listen to. So
touring is the way to make the money and selling merch right now. You got to be grateful for people buy a t-shirt,
right? You got to be happy that you're able to go on the tour, because that's the thing is a lot of bands I know can't even leave the state. They're like, well, we don't have the you know, we can barely get enough money for shirts, and I'm like, dude, I get it, man. So
we're also the band that says yes to an offer and then figure out how we're gonna do it. Like, you know, when we get the offer,
that's my style. I love doing that. I do that all the time. That's every day for me.
Hey
Randall, can you put a record out? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I'm like, oh crap, I don't have $5 grand right now. Like, let me see what I come up with.
We'll figure it out, man. We'll get there. And that's how we do. We're also the band that will not bug you, but we're not afraid to ask for opportunities, dude. That's for sure. We'll make.
Nor should you be.
Yeah, and it's worked for us so far. We've been very lucky. So,
I mean, I would say that the best place to try to do what we're doing is within punk rock. I don't think this could exist in any other genre. Maybe metal, but definitely that's it. Punk and maybe metal.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
And, you know, I've been around some like other musicians, some rappers and stuff. Their life is completely different from ours, man. Like their expectations are different. Like
Yeah.
they go to a show, they're like, I'm not showing up anywhere for less than 10 grand. I'm like, 10 grand?
Yeah.
Who's paying for that? I'm like, the kid, they're like, well, my tickets to get are $40. I'm like, who's paying for that? I'm like, you know, and it's just a different, like, just, you know, but also their pop music is far more popular. So like, you know, hip hop music is way bigger than punk. And so I guess it's just a different everything, you know?
Punk rock, the people in punk rock are more, I don't know if they're more, but they're obtainable and they're authentic. And if they like something, they like it, you know, like people, the bands that I look up to, they're just regular folk. And if they like your music, they'll tell you, which is fucking awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. So it's
I mean, that's how I've been so lucky.
It's a big community, but it's also tiny. Everyone knows it.
Right.
You're 1 degree away from whoever's.
Dude, big community, small world.
Yeah. Which is super cool. And then you have the small scenes within the scene. You know, Orange County's got a little thing going on.
Dude, that's how Houston is, man. We got like 4 different punk scenes here. It sucks. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like simultaneously, I'm glad they exist, but I'm like, man, I never see this dude. Like, I travel all over the city to go do stuff I'm trying to reach everybody, right? But I'll go to shows and I see it, man. I see like, okay, for this band, this whole group will show up. For this other band, this group, they won't all come together unless it's like a big festival or something, which I don't really understand.
That's Orange County. That's Orange County. I think the real scene that's developing, and at least on the West Coast here, or has been around for a minute now, is the hardcore scene for younger kids, which I know nothing about. And I think that's the way it's meant to be. It's not for me anymore.
Yes, there is some part of that that's accurate.
Yeah, so I think like, and I'm talking about these backyard shows in East LA and everything, right? Like that thing is happening, but I know nothing about that. You know, but then our scene, you're 100% right. It's so funny. I've been to see all the bands that are some going on around here. And you're right. It's like these guys will turn up to this show. These guys will go up to this show. We have our little thing, but we'll get on. It's all friendly, and we can sell out a show easier in New Jersey or New York than we can in Orange County.
That's insane. Actually, New Jersey kind of makes a little sense just based on your musical sound.
Yeah. Influences of music, but I'm not hating on it. Orange County's cool, but
I've been there a couple times actually. I'm friends with the dudes in the Havoc, and I stay with Justin occasionally when I come out to the LA area. And that part of the country is beautiful, man. I would love to come spend more time out there. I'm gonna be in California twice before the end of the year, actually.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna go. Let's see, where am I going? I get to go to Gilman, bro. I'm so pumped.
Oh
dude.
yeah,
I'm so excited. I've never been anywhere like that. So
yeah,
I get to go to Gilman in like just about a month, and then in November I'm going to go see Cox Bar in LA.
Oh, nice,
dude. I love that band.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So before we wrap up, man, time really flies by. I looked up and I was like, dude, already? Good grief.
Yeah, I know.
So what are some of the goals for the band? And is there anything that you want people to know about your band that we haven't really talked about? Like, what are some of the goals you guys have for the next, let's say, 12 months or so?
Yeah, that's a good question. Our goals, I don't know if they change. As long as we're having fun and connecting with our friends and fans, then we'll keep doing it. As long as we got something to write and something to say, and that's the main thing. So we do it, and so we're gonna record a new record in April, back in with Pete and
nice.
So we're putting everything. We're writing that right now. We're gonna tour. I want to play more festivals, but another behind the curtain. If you don't have a booking agent, it's difficult, dude. Like to do that stuff. I can
only imagine.
Yeah, we have an agent in Europe, but we don't have one in America. We do everything ourselves here, and we get on some decent shows. But like to get on the festivals, pretty much get ignored unless you have a. So there's some really cool punk festivals out there now that we'd love to play. I think we just want to get our music heard. That's our goal. We just in real life, not just on Instagram. We want to just we were lucky enough to get on that tour and play some really cool shows last
Dude,
year.
what a banger tour that is, dude. How was that? How was the experience?
Amazing, freaking incredible. We were so it was H2O, Adolescents, Bouncing Souls.
Get out of here with that, bro. It's
yeah,
so
I know.
crazy.
And we're like, well, we're kind of like slower and melodic. I don't know if they're gonna like us, like the fans. But so it was a minimum 1,000 people every night at these shows, and
wow.
But we just said, you know what, this is what we let's just do what we do, give everything on stage every night, and we did, and it was incredible. Like, you're so lucky to get that opportunity. That's what every band wants, to be able to get on stage, dude, in front of a bunch of people and play your songs every night. And if 10 people in that crowd like you, you've won. So, we'd go to the merch table after and sell so much more than we expect. We had to restock our merch, and we made so many new fans, a lot of, and just met a bunch of friends and fans who already knew who we were. We heard on the satellite radio and all this, and it's just like, holy shit, this is really good. The crowds are amazing to us. It was the best musical experience I've ever had as a musician.
Yes, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm happy for you, bro. I wasn't even there. I'm like, this is awesome.
yeah. So it was rad, dude. So, but then it's like, but still we'll go and play our regular shows. What is our normal level? 100, 200 people in whatever bar, club, and it's just amazing. But there's something about those big shows and having your big banner behind you and all that. It's fucking rad, dude. And anybody that pretends not to care about that is probably lying. Everybody in a band.
Oh yeah.
So it was cool.
I went to Austin one time to see the Bouncing Souls. I think it was at this place called Emo's. And I remember that's when I realized how important that band was to punk, because there were so many people there that I didn't expect to see. Like, specifically this one dude who was like this street punk guy that like got me into punk. We've bonded over the Bouncing Souls because I was always into more melodic music, just in general. Like, I like 77 style punk. I like I like melody, like pretty sounds, man. It's like, I want some anger in my music, but I need it to sound good too. And he was much more of like the lo-fi, crappy recordings, didn't matter. Like, I'm a little pickier, right? I just remember running into him and being like, dude, you like the Bouncing Souls? And he's like, dude, I wear Sambas because of those guys. And I'm like, that's crazy. And just like, shoulder and shoulder, just running around singing. And man, I can only imagine what that's like on tours. My point is like seeing that, feeling that every night, man. That band's a very important band to a lot of people.
Well, all of them, too. It's so confidence building too. Just like to have people like that, or even like Rusty Pistachio from H2O, the guitarist, coming, or Tony from the Adolescents coming up, and he come up to me and after a show, and he's like, "Oh man, you really had the crowd tonight." I'm like, "Did I?" I was like, "Yeah." And
yes.
He's like, I bet you like Tom Petty and Springsteen, right? I can hear it in your lyrics. I'm like, "You were listening to my songs?" And it's just shit like that. He's like, "Yeah, your stuff's great, blah blah." And he's become a friend of mine, and it's just surreal. All of it's kind of surreal in the weirdest way. Not to fan out on these people, they're just regular folks, but they're musically inspirational to me. So to call them friends now is awesome. And then to have that experience on tour and our band has shifted very quickly. Again, we're not a huge band, but we have a really fun community around the band now, and we owe a lot of that to the Bouncing Souls. That's why I talk about them so much. But and again, just to your point, I was saying this to somebody, like, I think every subgenre of punk has fans that like the Bouncing Souls, and I don't know if it's like more recently changed, like they've become like something special in punk rock. They always were, but now it's like mutually respected by everyone.
Well, I don't want to be like a brown noser any more than you than you do, right? But how many bands have a song the quality of True Believer?
Oh my god, dude, such great! I got to sing that on stage.
I mean, they got like 10 songs like that, but that was specifically like how many bands have a song that's that important? Because that song is objectively important. It means a lot to a lot of people, and even if you don't like the Bouncing Souls, you probably like that song.
Yeah, and the
like,
message.
it's just such a great dude. I built a whole community on that song, dude. That and Radio, like those two songs can basically build the punk rock review.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have this without those two foundational pieces of artwork. Like that stuff holds up everything we do.
Yeah,
but
for real. It was cool, man. I don't know, just we played with Joan Jett a couple weeks back.
Yes,
it's just all this shit, dude. And I'm not a massive Joan Jett fan, but it's Joan fucking Jett. Like,
I'm a pretty big Joan Jett fan. That's awesome, dude. That's rad.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. It was super cool.
That is rad, dude. I'm doing a video on women in punk right now, and she was the one that I was like, I gotta nail this, dude. I can't mess her stuff up, dude. Joan Jett's so cool. Yeah, and Polystyrene, R.I.P. Dude, I love Polystyrene.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool video. Yeah, Joan is true pioneer.
Did you get to talk to her at all? She's probably hard to get to, huh?
Yeah, we definitely could have bugged her a lot more than we did, but we didn't.
That's cool too, though, man. Yeah. Like that's cool of you to not do that. I always feel weird. Like I've got a few people that are like really important to me that have agreed to do the show that I just can't get them to nail it down.
Yeah,
and I feel horrible about bothering them, so I don't. And it probably has cost me some opportunities, but it's at least they're not going to go, yeah, that guy's annoying. At least I'm not hearing that. I don't have to hear that, so I'm happy. But
yeah, it's man. It's like during COVID, you could have got anyone on your podcast,
dude. That's I think about that all the time, and I'm like, dude, but I didn't have this channel there. I've only been the channel for a little over almost coming up on 2.5 years. Yeah, I had a different channel back then because I never meant to do any of this. This was never what I never planned on doing this. I didn't plan on having a label with 20-something releases. I never planned on owning a record store. I wanted to, but I used to own a comic book shop, dude. I was going to go that direction with my whole life, and then COVID took that from me, and I just kind of rebounded with a small record collection that I was going to sell, and it just snowballed into what we have today. But that tells me right now that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. So,
the resurgence of people listening to vinyl records is one of the coolest things that's happened.
Dude, it's so important, bro. It's a whole nother hour conversation we could have, man.
Like, for real.
It's so important. Well, it's so important. Like, here, I'll give you one quick example before we get out of here. This isn't vinyl, but this isn't on Spotify. It's barely on YouTube. So I can listen to it because I have the CD, and I have a CD player, and I have a nice stereo, and I still do content revolving around physical media because I do think it's important. If you're a musician, you're telling me you think it's just as cool to have even a Bandcamp page. You think it's just as cool as having a vinyl record. That's nonsense. I don't believe that. Like, that's,
Yeah. It's me and the wife have a room downstairs, which is our vinyl listening room, and it's just Friday night. If we got time, we'll sit in there, just put a record on.
Heck yes, that's awesome.
And that's it, man. It's just there's nothing. It's hard to explain, but
it's therapeutic, man.
Differently, it's good times, dude. But yeah.
Well, last thing I'll ask you is in regards to that. Do you have any particular record that's like your jam? Like maybe let's say I don't know how deep your collecting goes. So, like, do you have one that's like your prized record?
Prized record is, you know what? My mom's has it still back in England, so that's how prized it is. It's the Beatles' White Album, the first pressing of the Beatles.
Oh, that is kind of prized actually. Yeah, I've got a couple of cool things. So that's pretty rad.
Yeah, so that would be the prized one. And now I don't know, man. We kind of just we have all the like hand-me-downs from our parents, originals, a lot of soul music, Sam Cooke and stuff.
Oh, there's nothing wrong, dude. That's timeless music, bro. I can listen to that all the time.
They feel different. Those original like ones from the 70s and 80s.
Well, it's different paper, different vinyl for one.
Yeah,
but it is a different. When I buy used records, I have a particular part of me that's like, I love this so much.
Yeah, there's some energy in it, there's something about it. But most of the collection now is that we're buying at shows from bands just to support.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything that do you have like a little wish list of stuff you're looking for? I got one in the mail that was like probably my top sought after piece of vinyl. I just got it. And it wasn't even expensive. I got a really great deal. I'm just very jazzed about this.
I can't think off the top of my head. The hardest one I just got was the Horrible Crows. After we mentioned that, I got the
that is pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, that disappeared for a minute. I think it got reissued again, maybe, but that was a challenge to get for me. so I got that, and then all those Gaslight records went out of print, but they all got reprinted again. I can't think off the top of my head.
Shout out to my audience. I was given a copy of This Charming Man.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really
bro. I knew you'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I almost cried, bro. I was so taken aback by that. Was a gift. I was like, this is nuts, man.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then I pulled out the credit card at the Punk Rock Museum and I bought Fat Mike's personal copy of the first press of Walk Among Us.
Damn, dude. Is that record store open in that museum now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I last went there, they were just about to open it, I think.
It's small, but it's quality, bro. Like that record that I have, I will never let that go. I've only got 2 albums that I won't let go of. It's that one, and I have 10 Time Bomb and Friends. I've actually got a copy of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, those 2 are not going anywhere, bro. Like when I die, they might just get thrown in the box with me. Actually, they'll probably get given to somebody that really loves it, but it'll go to a good home. But man, this has been a lot of fun hanging out, dude.
Yeah, man.
Would you want to talk again when your record's getting closer to coming out next spring?
Yeah, definitely, dude. We'll 100%. Yeah, let's say it's fun.
Cool,
just
man.
Chat. It's like chatting to
Yeah. I mean, if there's a topic that pops up you want to cover or something like that, or you got anything you want to talk about, dude, you holler at me, man. We'll do this anytime.
Yeah, sounds great, dude. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Last question, actually, real short. Anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to talk about outside of obviously go check out this man's band? If you don't, that's kind of weird. But like anything you want to talk about before we go? Anybody want to shout out? Anything you want to say thank you to or check this out?
Again, for me, it's just thanks to our community of friends and fans, man. That's the most important thing to this band. And
heck yeah,
it might seem quiet right now, but we're coming back. I want to say, I probably don't say enough. Thank you to our little crew around the band too, Angel and Bolkees and Terry and everyone. Like, we're super grateful. Thanks to everybody that, there's you doing your show. There's Rachel O'Rama does her punk rock show in Orange County. Just these grassroots communities that are growing up and coming back around all this is with all the shit in the world right now, like to just have this and forget about it almost, or just talk and think about stuff that you love and it
absolutely
means something is important. So that's what I'm stoked on right now. And I will say, and he's a label mate, he's also one of my best friends. His name's Rudy Nuno. He's a band out of LA, and he just recorded a record produced by Kevin from the Interrupters.
Oh, nice.
And it is fucking incredible, dude. That's gonna be
what's it called again?
His name is Rudy Nuno. Nuno, and that record will be out. He's on our label. That record's coming out, and it's better than our record. It's so good.
Dude, that's awesome.
We'll have to write another one.
If you think about it, when that comes out, just shoot me a reminder. Hey, don't forget, check this out, because I'll listen to it. I'd love to do a review for it, just to even if I can get 2 people to listen to it, that would make me happy. So
yeah, that's what it's all about, man. So yeah, thanks to you for having me, dude, as well.
Dude, absolutely. It was a blast, man. I hope I didn't talk too much.
No, not at all. I love it. We mentioned off air before, like, just having a conversation is the way to do it. It's just chat.
I think so.
Like, it's weird.
You ain't gonna please everybody no matter what you do. So
you
may as well do what's more comfortable for you, man. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go throw a 10-pound ball at a bunch of pins on a piece of very slippery flooring. So I will talk to you later, man. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody out there, go listen to Jack Knives. We'll be playing more of your music on the streams and in the future. So thank you again, man. If you need something from me, let me know. Okay, bud?
Yeah, likewise. Cheers.
All right, everybody. Peace.